So we only got one level left, Marcadia. Not Marcadia, Tyrannosis, sorry.
Yes, yes, and then the Tyrannosis battlefield is the
Yes.
one, but we don't need to do that.
I kind of want to see if it's any different at all. I doubt it would be, but you never
Yeah, who
know.
knows? I'll bet you that we were using this disc also for a user test.
Ah, maybe, yeah.
Because that's the only reason I can think of why we would put single player levels on a multiplayer build.
Hmm, possibly. Ha, they've got the T stance.
Yeah.
That is... That's pretty great. That's made all of this worth it. Not that it wasn't worth it before, because it's been amazing, but that was amazing. I
I
love
love how
that.
slow this is because you can see so much.
Mm. Yeah, that is true. Yeah. There's so many explosion noises right now.
I can't hear them.
Yeah, you're lucky. It's okay.
I'm lucky.
Oh my god, they're not stopping. They're not actually stopping.
They
Oh
may
gosh.
forever.
It's so slow.
And you know that debugging isn't going to help you at all.
No, it is not. Literally nothing can stop this.
This might as well be a loading screen.
Oh man. So in user tests, would stuff like this have happened? Or...
Well, it wouldn't have been that slow. It just would have been breaking frame.
Right. No,
And yes, we would give frame rate broken levels sometimes, but we'd try not to.
yeah. So besides a couple things like the nefarious boss fight, which was apparently an insanely difficult gauntlet at the end of that Cork comic, was there anything else in this game in particular which was deemed way too hard in user tests? Or...
The hacker.
Oh really?
Yeah, that's why I put in that cheat where you could turn off the difficulty tuning, because I had to change it because everybody was getting stuck on the hacker. Right? Like, I wanted people to spend, a minute or two on it as a diversion, and people would spend 10 or 15 minutes on it.
Boy.
Right? And so it's just it's not working the way I designed it. I wanted it to be hard enough that it would take a few minutes, right?
Yeah.
So we put in that, and I changed a lot of the puzzles to be easier, so that they'd be more in line with how long I wanted them to take you at this phase of the game,
Did it originally have the R1 and L1 button to like basically walk you to the other side, or was that something you added after a user test? Because the game never explicitly tells you about it.
That thing. Yeah, so originally we did have a tooltip saying that you could do it, but it was so hard to use well.
Oh really?
That, yeah, just because the what are they called? The sparks. They don't pause while you're flipping it. They're still moving, and you're out of control.
Right.
Does that make sense? Because we don't just snap you, we spin you,
Yeah.
and they don't stop. If we had snapped you, or if they didn't stop, it probably would have been much more usable. But since we didn't need it to solve the puzzles, I just took the instruction out so people could find it if they.
I was gonna say, because I find it flows so much easier with it, but that might just be me.
I used to use it all the time. That's why I had it in there, right?
Mm.
I found it to be really useful, especially in the hard puzzles.
The ones in the Insomniac Museum, some of them I'm pretty sure are impossible without it.
Yeah, the testers knew it, and the testers knew how to use it too. So they designed the puzzles with that in mind. Mm. But yeah, it's an advanced strategy basically because of the way I made it.
Yeah.
And I didn't end up changing any of that, so it stayed in advanced strategy. So we didn't want players to think they had to do it and just end up giving them more rope to hang themselves with.
Mm. So how early in the game was this level made?
Let's see. This, I want to say, so there's usually like 4, maybe 5 cycles where we do 3 levels each, or more, and I want to say this was cycle 3, so it was near the end, but not the end.
Right. So I was wondering if the Mama Tyrannoid fight would be any different.
It's possible. that fight got a lot of changes put in because it's like it's the only Zelda style boss fight we ever do, right? Where we have all these really cinematic camera changes and like the fight has pacing where like you're moving from one arena to another. Like it was a very different boss fight from normal Ratchet boss fights. So it's almost certain that something's different, if only like his damage and health and stuff.
Okay.
Especially if this was a user testing build, we might not have gotten it right yet.
Yeah, that's possible. I'm looking forward to it. So with that said, let's do it. Let's destroy everything.
Boom, boom.
Get through. That's a cool gun.
You could just fly up to the...
You're right, I probably could just go through the door. Because I imagine the rest of this level's pretty samey. It might not be. There might be one thing that's different, and that's there's a titanium bolt inside, which I will check. But you could be right, so let's, as we always do, cheat throughout the entire area. Cause
if you want to turn on like everything except for Ratchet and Step in those two in the debug menu. Go under update,
yes.
yeah. So then you can then everything will still trigger.
I can't move.
Oh, you can't?
I can't move through the. It might be because camera's off. Yeah. Oh, camera. I need to turn camera.
Oh.
off.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So Mobi's and parts.
Yeah.
They should still work now. Like when you fly into their areas and they'll aim at something.
They
if
are.
You watch it, they might even know you exist. I don't know if they'll know while he's frozen.
These it's kind of remind me a little bit of DRDs from Farscape. It's a sci-fi show. They're basically like little. Huh?
I haven't seen it.
I've heard really good.
Oh yeah.
It's one of my favorite sci-fis ever made. I mean, if you like Doctor Who, you would really like Farscape. Do you like Star Trek as well?
I do.
Yes, you would. You would love. Ha ha ha! Getting the titanium bolt. Ha! This is immensely satisfying. Yeah, no. If you like Star Trek, you would love. You would love Farscape. Were these originally there? I don't.
They might have been taken out.
I don't remember them. I could be wrong, but I don't recall them being there.
You didn't remember the amoeboid hives?
Yes, but that's also a very specific point. Like that's some of them seem really low down as well. So to the point where you'd be able to get to them. I don't know. It's just a little bit odd.
Stuff hanging from the ceiling. Yeah, that's usually something that's easy to miss.
All right, let's enter the control room. Let's take out this boss. See if it's any different. I kind of hope it is. It'd be really cool.
So you probably just loaded into a chunk. That's why that elevator was there.
Let's find out, shall we?
But you can, yeah.
No, actually, there's. Oh, wait, is that the other section of the arena?
I think so.
This is really cool. Like, there's bones and webs here. You can't even see it.
Well, that's just it's all clipping into the wall, and they expect you to see what's on the other side, and then that stuff doesn't matter.
Oh, it's on the ceiling. But still, like you don't really notice it as much. It's disappointing.
Yeah, they intersect with the ceiling because that's how you make it look like they're attached.
Yeah.
Pretty much everything does that, and then you try to disguise the place where it meets the ceiling so that it doesn't look like they're clipping. It looks like they're doing it on purpose.
I don't even remember if it was bones in the final version. I don't think it is. I don't think it's bones and spiderwebs.
That looks different, I think.
Yeah, I don't think it is that. I think I'm pretty sure that it's different.
Maybe it was a little too on the nose for Goma, the first boss.
Maybe.
Like maybe they just thought, you know what? It's an homage. Maybe let's not also have the spider webs.
It doesn't make the noises.
Look, his shadow's messed up.
Yeah, I've noticed that for a while actually. A few things have had different, like blocky shadows.
So do you see how they're all like a collection of cylinders, and they're just placed on the ground in a circle right now?
Yeah.
The way that the shadow system worked, and basically we had these capsules like pills, and we would attach them to the character's arm, to the head, to the legs, stuff like that, right? So then as the character moved, those pills would also move. And then the game did a clever trick to sort of flatten those pills out onto the ground so they look like a shadow.
Okay.
And then we would use that system also to do effects like the teleporter effects, where Ratchet disappears in in particles that sort of look like him. The way that worked was it would spawn effects inside of the shadow pills, so that's how it knew where they would go. But it looks like this boss has a bunch of shadow pills that aren't set up.
Yeah, this feels basically the same. Oh, actually, no, this room's very different. This room didn't have this many Tyrannoids, nor did it have these computers.
Ah, okay, yeah. So, like I was saying, this was a unique boss for us. So I can see why there might be different things.
I need to know what's behind this door. Fun fact: absolutely nothing.
That's
Cool.
the case most of the time with the doors. Yeah. Did you ever read? A friend of mine wrote a article about like doors and like how much of a problem they are in game design. Her name's Liz England. Have you ever heard of that article?
No, I don't. I feel like you tweeted it, but I might not have read it. I think I was going to, and I forgot about it. Also, I like your trick here about how there's no giant beast behind it. Oh God, no! I've killed myself. No, don't walk behind. It's a terrible idea.
Wow.
That was great. Sorry, you were saying doors article.
Yeah. So anyway, she wrote an article. Definitely look it up if you guys like this sort of thing, because it's really interesting. She basically she breaks down all of the roles on a game development team in terms of what you have to do to implement a door, right? So like, you know, the QA tester has a different set of concerns about the door than the designer does, and so forth. And not only does it explain how difficult doors are, because they are kind of difficult, and you would think they would be easy, right? It also explains very well what all of those different roles do.
What is this?
That is, so all of the lines in the game have a tag that references the localization system, so it knows to pull the English, the French, the Italian, right? What that is it's trying to pull something that doesn't exist.
Right.
So it just comes up with a whole bunch of garbage letters.
Ah! Whoa! Wow.
Yeah, we had special characters we could put in that would appear as the button symbols or whatever, so that, you know, when we said press triangle to whatever, we wouldn't write the word triangle, we would put triangle in brackets, and that would be replaced with the triangle symbol.
Right. I also noticed that when the monster was screaming, you couldn't actually damage it. That was changed. You can damage it whenever.
What was changed?
When in this version, when the boss was screaming or like yelling at the air, you couldn't actually damage it, but you can in the final version.
Oh, they made it invulnerable.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of unfair, because if the boss is there rearing up, like, especially for that kind of boss, that Zelda boss, you think it's telling you where to hit it. Like, you think it's the vulnerable spot, right?
Yeah.
So you're communicating a question that isn't actually a question.
Yeah. But sorry, you were saying about the doors. The door.
That was basically it. Definitely. Her name's Liz England. Go check out, do a Google search for Liz England doors.
Oh, it doesn't actually load the thing. It has completely crashed. It doesn't load the bonus missions.
The next level. Yeah, because that's it. I think that's all the levels that are on the...
Yeah, it doesn't load the Tyrannosis assault on Kavu Island stuff. So I guess that's a fitting way to end. It's
called... The article, by the way, is called The Door Problem.
Okay, cool. I will definitely check that out. Thank you for joining me for this series.
No problem, Teal. It's always a lot of fun to join you. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure to have you, and it's fascinating to learn this kind of thing, especially with a source like this where it's viable to test things. And I think we've actually found quite a few just random stuff, the random buttons in the final cutscene. That's pretty amazing.
And it gives you sort of an idea of you know, when the people are putting these things together for you, exactly how much stuff there is that they have to think about and deal with. And like every crate that you saw, someone placed there Every enemy someone placed there and tweaked a million times.
Yeah.
So it's every wall, every plant was handcrafted for you, and it
Yeah.
makes a little more sense when you can see how they're put together.
Yeah, and I mean, whilst we've shown quite a lot, it really barely scratches the surface. And
That's a good point.
it's a lot of stuff I will probably never understand. But it is fascinating to learn about. So thank you for this, and I hope everyone watching really enjoyed it, because it's been very interesting to explore.
Yay!
Thank you, everyone. Bye bye.
Bye.